A warm greeting from Edie Corner to all twinkling star. Today we have an interesting topic for discussion. We'll be discussing about environmental studies. Why should I study about environment? What is the essence of studying environment? You all might have a question relating to that. So this video will address all such questions which is popping into your mind. So we all live in an environment which has completely changed in comparison to 100 years prior. Okay, it is the men, women who is interacting with the environment has brought down the changes. And if you consider there are a lot of problem which is prevailing in an environment. So any individual who feels like, okay, this has to be preserved and proper environmental condition has to be handed over in future. Under such situation, a thorough understanding of environment is essential for fruitful further upcoming years. Okay. So, what is an environment? Environment is the sum total of living and non living element and their effect which influence human life. Okay. So, environment is not only made up of living organism, it is also made up of non living organism. How well they are going to interact between each other has a clean impact on the performance and success of an environment. So, at the time of understanding or making an attempt to preserve our environment, a proper match should be made between the living and non living organism. The environment should be so conducive where a reasonable measure to protect non living organisms also should be taken care of because living organisms they have sixth sense and they know what should be done for their betterment, whereas a non-living organism if it is not taken adequate care, the life of such organism will go extinct. Okay, so a proper scalar balance between the living and non-living organism is always essential to solve all the environmental problem. If the non-living elements are good only, living organism can have a proper balanced life in the economy. Okay. The surrounding in which I interact or you interact formulates environment. We know it includes both living and non-living organism. So in technical term, it is coined as biotic and abiotic factor. Okay. So these biotic and abiotic factor, one act as a regulator, other one act as a resource. Always this regulator and resource has to be properly balanced so that we people in a nation can enjoy a peaceful life. Peaceful life in the sense like you will have a good health, you can leave something for your future generation. There wouldn't be scarcity of something. Always the resources should be used in a fruitful way. Then only you can get benefited out of it. And I should also make sure the abiotic factor, there is a non-living factor in the surrounding, is not getting affected because the non-living factor act as a conductor or regulator of the environment. If their proportion is getting affected, the life of living organism will come under threat. Okay, let us understand what is abiotic factor. As I told you, abiotic factor is a regulator which ensures smooth conduct of environment. An environment is made up of both living and non-living organism. Abiotic factors include all your non-living substances. Okay, a proper maintenance of this is very much essential for overall conduct of biological aspect of your environment. Fine. Okay, we'll be discussing about various abiotic factor one after the other. First abiotic factor they are telling is temperature. Temperature is the climate situation which differs from region to region. All the region do not have same kind of temperature. And organisms in different place are being made to survive as per the temperature in a particular area. For example, if we are living in India, we are made to accustom to such a kind of temperature. Whereas if we are living in Kashmir or somewhere like that, our body is expected to match to such kind of temperature. Under such situation, I may need to wear certain additional woolen clothing in order to keep myself warm. Okay, so in the similar way, it's for animals also. If I consider some animals in India, they are used to normal kind of situation. Whereas if you consider certain animals over Kashmir, it is like their body will have additional fur in order to balance the temperature. So the temperature will vary from various tropical zones. The organism which is living over there, their body metabolism will be altered in such a way so that they can get adapted to the situation. Next is an important concept, light. Without light, nothing can work. The sun is the only source of light to our earth. Okay. So majority of work what we are gonna do happens in during daytime. So light is very important. Apart from that, plant they can produce the food. Okay, plant can process their food only in the presence of sunlight. Plant hold a major portion in producing the food for consumption. So light is very essential. Next is water. Without water, you cannot imagine life. Okay, management of water is very much essential, and the availability of water will differ from region to region. Under such situation, if a particular region faces water scarcity, what should they do? They should adopt certain measures in order to make sure they preserve the water. There are instances where certain location will have ample of water. There will be a lot of flood. Already the particular region will have a lot of access to water. Under such situation, they should formulate a particular method in which the water can be properly channelized to a region which does not have adequate water. Next is wind. Wind acts as an important source of carrier of various seeds to different places. That is, wind is responsible for dispersal of seeds to many places. It's not like a particular plant will grow only in a region. No, because of wind that blows from one area to other area, the humidity of a place is also considered. Apart from that, they also help in great part for germination of seeds also. This increases the plant count in a particular area. Then is humidity. Humidity is the amount of water vapor present in the atmosphere. Humidity varies from region to region and it also differs based upon the climate of a zone. So always a human being or any other living organism is accustomed to live in different kind of humid condition. Mineral. Mineral is an important abiotic factor. You know variety of mineral and vitamins which we extract from abiotic factor. Okay, so all the minerals they are available in abundance. It is the living organism which has to decide which mineral is going to be used in what composition, and we should also make sure equitable distribution of resources to the people. Background, that is, we are aware about variety of background in which the environment operates. Generally, background determine the distribution of habitat in different area. That is, a particular organism will be spread over different area depending upon the background. For example, if you consider camel, it is in brown color. We might have wondered why it is in brown color because it's based on the background. If you consider any kind of animal which is in forest, they will be majoritively in brown. If you consider lion, tiger, in a shade of brown or yellow, it's because based on the background they are getting adopted to. Whereas if you consider a grasshopper, it will be in green color because it gets grown just in a leaf or some greenery. That's why based upon the background and organism texture and the pattern of the growth will also get influenced. Okay, biotic component. We already know abiotic component is like non-living organism. Biotic components includes your living organism and management of biotic component is very important to have a proper balance of abiotic component. Okay, your biotic component includes animal and other organism. It includes your bacteria, animal, insects, birds, which stay in an ecosystem and which are major part of your ecosystem. So, biotic components, they are classified into three parts: producer, consumer, and decomposer. Producer. The living unit which produces food, that is known as producer. Generally, the role of producer is taken by the green plants. They are responsible for producing the foods. Consumer. Consumer are the living organism which take food from the producer directly or indirectly. Okay. Last, you have decomposers. You have bacteria, fungi. They do not depend upon green plant for their food. Instead of that, they prey on dead organism. Okay, and they are responsible for decaying of the organism and disposal of organism. Decomposer includes your bacteria and fungi. They also comes under living organism, and they are responsible for decaying or dead material. Okay, so a clear understanding of an environment is essentially important for solving the environmental problem. If every individual can understand why an environment problem is caused, he can simply lay down the solution. And more than this, an individual contribution in a little way can make a lot of difference. Hope this video is useful for you. Thank you and save your environment.